just say God bless insurance, because without insurance, I would owe a lot of money to the University of Michigan for all the health care I've received. I am lucky to be on 4 different types of insurance. My mom took the initiative to keep me on her insurance. She wrote them and explained that because I have a terminal illness, which I do, this is considered a terminal illness, that I could stay on her insurance until I pass away or until she switches jobs. All they needed was the doctor to tell them what the percentage of my life expectancy was. So the insurance company made my doctor put a percentage on what my survival rate would be, and my survival rate is 0%. So the insurance company is allowing me to stay on that insurance until, like I said, I pass away or my mom switches jobs. Without insurance, I would have a lot of debt in medical bills. It is not cheap. 1 year, my mom collected all the bills, and her insurance alone billed out over $1.5 million for 1 year of chemo treatment and scans. I've been doing this for almost 5 years consecutively, so that is a lot of money that if I didn't have insurance, I definitely wouldn't be receiving these treatments. There was a confusion when I first got diagnosed, and my dad had just retired, so they switched over the insurance wrong. And I didn't have insurance for my first initial visit with my doctor at U of M, and it was going to cost me $640 in cash just to see the doctor that day. Luckily, the insurance company figured out really fast for me, so I've been really lucky that I don't really have a lot of bills, because when I have a copay, the next insurance picks up that copay, and so on and so forth until it's paid off. I do have some bills. Some medication isn't paid for. The first when I get IV chemo treatments, I have to give myself a shot of Neulasta. It's a drug that kind of improves your white blood cells so you don't get sick, and because when you're on chemo, your immune system is really weak. One of those shots was about $2,000, and I would have to give myself that shot every time after I had a section of chemo. So that's a lot of money in itself right there. I only had to pay about $60 out of pocket because my insurance covered the rest, and the other insurance companies didn't approve that drug. So I've been lucky in that sense that I don't really have medical bills because I'm very well insured. However, when it comes to going to treatments, and because my treatment isn't in the city that I live, I have to travel there, it does add up. Gas bills are really expensive, but again, I have great insurance, luckily, and one of them pays for the gas mileage, so I tell them what the distance is from my house to wherever I'm going. They call the doctors to make sure I showed up, and then they send me a check 2 days later, so I get reimbursed for my gas mileage. Also, I had to stay in hotel rooms, because one of the things why I switched from Madison and I didn't like it is because I was going to have to stay in the hospital 24 hours a day for long periods of time, and anyone that knows me knows that I cannot really, I explore. I need to be going out and doing things. So that wasn't going to work for me, so we made an agreement that I would stay in Ann Arbor instead of staying in Lansing. That way I could be close to the hospital in case something happened. And so I stayed in hotel rooms every day I had a chemo treatment to ensure that something emergent wouldn't happen through the night and I could be close to the hospital. And those bills add up. I was lucky enough to also take out on my 401k that I had built up from when I worked at a hospital and when I worked at Econo. And I took all the 401k that helped me pay for those bills. And then I started receiving disability. And I'll talk about disability on a different one because that's just crazy in itself. But if you have any questions, just ask.